G'day and welcome back for more Survival Impossible. I am going to begin work on my fuel carrying Panini, which may need a new name, but we'll think about that once we actually got this thing up and running. This thing is going to be outfitted so that it can carry a whole bunch of hydrogen from an ice lake that is hopefully not too far away, all the way back here. Now, that means it's going to be filled with tanks, not with cargo containers. Cargo containers are a bad idea. Because gases don't have mass in Space Engineers, we are better off with fuel tanks than we are with carrying a whole bunch of ice. Especially in the high gravity we're dealing with here. I don't want to have to build enough thrusters to carry huge amounts of ice, so I'm not going to. I'm going to build thrusters to carry a big ship with 2 large hydrogen tanks. And my plan is to do something a little bit bizarre. Considering I need to be able to get on and off this ship and I don't have a jetpack to do that, the sensible thing would be to make it so that you can easily walk on and off like this, because it's all nice and low to the ground. But that's the sensible thing, and since when do I ever do that? No. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this thing up and sling the tanks underneath. Which means the Panini's actually going to land on its tanks. Although, at this end of things, I've kind of changed my mind on how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to stick a connector, I think, on the front of the tanks. So the tanks will be running lengthways down the underside of the vessel. So if I stick a connector on the front, and I build a little connector set up somewhere where the ladder that will be down the side, which will be my access way, is close enough to the ground that I can get on and off, then that'll work perfectly, because I can lock to that connector, climb in and out via the ladder, and then back down at the ice lake. Because it's perfectly flat, I can just land on the ice and potentially have a similar setup to what I'm planning here once I've got a bit of a base set up down there. So, what do I need to do to the Panini to get it to work better? Well, I'm going to need to hook it up to the base so it can start getting some charge in those batteries, because I need to get a lot of charge in those batteries in order to fly over there. And I need to fix up the fact that I pointed 2 thrusters at each other like a dope. Ugh, so annoying that I did that. And what else do I need to do? Oh yeah, I need to build a hookup. No, I said that already. I had something else. It's gone. Oh well. I'm sure it'll come back to me. I'm sure it won't be forgotten like a gyroscope. So I think one of the best ways to hook this up so that I can work on it and I can get it charged and I can add stuff underneath is to build a piston with a merge block on it and stick a merge block onto here somewhere that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to modify. And that is probably going to be the front here. So if I stick an armor block there, and then a merge block on after that. So merge block, then I think building it something off this temporarily is probably the best way to go. And piston out here, then let's grab some ways to move around. Something like this should do the trick. So I've got the piston, merge block on the end. I'll flip this around so that it's merged onto there. And then I can start building some scaffold around here to build the whole thing up. I may even mount the scaffolding on these merge blocks so that I can push it right up against the Panini while I build. But I reckon this is going to be one of the more efficient ways I could build something at this scale. Especially with how I'm planning on adding stuff to it, because I'm, in my usual way, making my life more difficult than it needs to be. Because I think the aesthetic results will be worth it. Is that my only reverse thruster? Or have I got 2? That is my only reverse thruster. Great. I really don't want to ruin this to the point that it has no metal grids left. And I don't know where I'm going to put that reverse thruster yet, so I'm just going to hope I don't damage it much more. Alright, dampeners on. Swing her around. This is going to be tricky, given I don't have a left thruster. And, oh, yep. We are merged. Oh dear, I forgot something important. I should be able to jump off here. This is not too high. Yeah, I'm good. Just for a second I was like, hang on a second. Can I safely jump off here? Phew. Alright, so now I can do this. Lift it up. And I can lower it down as I want to do stuff. And yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll move it up till I can fit the tanks underneath. And then once I've done that, I'll know exactly how high it needs to go, and then I'll start lining up scaffolding. Alright, so hydrogen tank. Do not have room yet. Needs to go higher. So I'm thinking if I line the first one up there, then I can have like a strap hanging around a cargo, like a conveyor linkage, and then I can put the second tank there. Which means it won't get in the way of those 4 thrusters. I am going to need to remove some of the thrusters, and I'm going to need to make some fresh thrusters, and I've resigned myself to accepting that that's just how it's going to be. But that gives you a bit of an idea of the scale that I'm going to be working with here. I reckon this thing could look kind of cool when it's done, or I hope it does. Alright, let's try and get some scaffolds up so I can wander up and down from here without too much trouble. Oh no! Can I drop that low enough that I can walk up that set of stairs? Now that I've got the tank on. Looking promising. Yeah. There we are. So this will be my scaffold to get up onto the roof of the thing. Don't fall down that gap. Cool. So one thing I am going to have to do with this is get rid of this refinery and assembler. The refinery and assembler are something I'm going to need to set up at the new base, but to carry them on the ship every trip back and forth, that's kind of silly because they're kind of heavy. So I don't really want to be carrying those every single time. So instead I'll bring the materials for them the first time instead of bringing them every time. So the weight only gets taken down to the mining site once. I'm not sure about this battery. I think there's a decent chance I'm going to end up wanting to get rid of it. And also this cargo container. I don't like this flight seat. I'm going to put one of the new ones in. I'm going to make this thing my own. It's going to... well, I mean, I know I designed the original one, but I'm going to make it an original thing. Something different to the previous design that's clearly, obviously, not the Panini anymore. But still has some of its design elements. So my challenge with this build is to kind of make it look like the Panini and yet not. Right, so what do I want to have on board here? I need to have a bit of cargo. I need to have more batteries. I'm thinking what I'll do is maybe pop another battery here and then maybe match it on this side. So get rid of this battery here.
Inventory full.
Which is pretty much out of charge
Inventory
anyway.
Full.
So I'm not feeling bad about getting rid of it. Also think I'm going to get rid of this hydrogen engine.
Inventory full.
And the O2H2 generator that I built. So basically everything that I built last week is going. Ooh, I do... No. No. I don't think I want to have the engine on here. I can use an engine at each base to get charged, but to use it on this thing, I still think I'm better to just have the batteries. I may live to regret that that comment, or I may not live to regret it, as the case may be, depending on how much regret there is. So, battery. Yeah, this will work. Ooh. Just had a thought of where I can put my Atmo reverse thrusters. At least if I stick it right here, I'm pretty sure this glass won't get burnt out by it because it's too narrow. But if I put it up there instead of putting it anywhere towards the rear, the chances of me sticking something in front of it, like I did before, is very low. Why won't you let me place that? Because of this. That's why, isn't it? Steel Capac plate. So I go, pair of reverse thrusters. Then the cockpit can be back where it was. I can now... Oh wait, I don't have any girders on me. But I could put glass above me, occupying this block. Same on this side. And then if I put glass between these two thrusters, or maybe steel plate. Probably steel plate. Maybe something like half slab, because it's going to be because those half slabs on the outside. So put the slab there, and then glass can go above my head, like the block that's attached to it, while these ones are inside. That should still be airtight and allow me to have this cockpit airtight, because it is much better when I'm traveling long distances in something for it to be pressurized so that I don't run out of oxygen unexpectedly. We're going to lose both of these, aren't we? Right. Let's discharge and recharge. So I'm going to grind down that battery too. It's in the wrong place. This could get ugly. Is that somehow stuck to the chair? How convenient. I thought the connector was going to drop off and smash down onto the ground. Alright, I need some scaffolding around the outside now. Let's see if I can do this without dying. Sweet, I've got a bit more scaffolding. Now I can have a bit of a look from the side here at what I want to do. I think... Oh man, this is a big project. It's been a while since I've done something mobile like this that wasn't done in creative mode. With jetpacks. Being able to fly around and get perspective on everything. I sometimes don't appreciate... Like, I sometimes forget just how much perspective I lose on the bigger picture of these builds by being no jetpack. Because you can't do that thing that I think most people do. There's no easy way to do this, is there? Unless I build a scaffold to go up. There's that thing that most people do where they fly backwards a little bit to see what they're doing a little more clearly. That I just can't do. Oh, I don't want to grind that down yet. That hasn't discharged all its power into the system. How are you looking? Stored power. You'll be fully charged in not too long. Alright, I think what I should do is lay out the thruster packs first. So, lay out all the thrusters I need to get in all the power I need in all the directions I need. So I can start grinding off, because I'm going to have to get rid of this one, I think. It sticks out too far. I'll need to remove this reverse thruster because it's going the wrong way, and repair this one I'm standing on. But yeah, I think I'll start with the thrusters, which means I need scaffolding the whole way round. There we go, that makes me feel a bit safer. A bit more like I'm working at ground level. Plus, there is an additional upside to building big scaffolds like this. If I fall off while building any of the other bits and pieces around here, at least this will stop me from falling quite so far. Even though it seems, judging by the number of near misses I've had, that fall damage is somehow off or something. Or weirdly reduced. Doesn't make sense. How did I survive that last week when I got thrown off the conveyor line? It's a mystery. Get rid of this reverse thruster. I'm just going to grind this off. I was hoping to do the whole salvage scavenger thing, but apparently I will need to spend a lot more time designing canaries if I'm going to try and pull that off. Which is something I'd like to do. I would very much like to try and design some drones and spend some time with the footage from any time that Steve's caught me fighting with the canaries to see how I can improve them. But I think that'll kind of be an episode in itself. I'll try and build a few canaries, get Steve looking at it from various perspectives as I try and attack and use different tactics and see what works. And then once I decide that I've got a decent idea about why things have gone wrong, I'll attempt to build a better canary. One that's hopefully able to take one of these things down. But I'd really like to get back up to space before I start fiddling with that too much. Because I really, really want some silver. It'd be nice. It'd be so nice. And I don't know why I picked up a whole bunch more stuff. I shouldn't have done that before I came up here to grind that down. That was silly. So I reckon one of the first things I should do is start adding some extra lifting thrusters. It's barely got enough to be able to carry what it's currently got, and I'm about to add more to it. So, add an extra one on this side. Same on... no. should have moved this in. Oh well. Yeah, let's get rid of it. So that's 6 lift. Let's go with not turning my jetpack on. And 3 forward, 2 reverse. I think I'm going to struggle to find more places to put lateral thrusters. So I might just stick with 1 each, even though it's going to make the control scheme a little awkward. But I think in terms of fitting everything I want to here without making the whole platform a lot larger, it's just what it is. So I've now got reverse, forward, left, right, up, and I should try and get some more up thrust. There and there. Do the same around the other side. Like that. So how many thrusters do I end up needing to build? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's okay. I think I've got enough nickel for that. You appear to be fully charged. You are. You don't appear to have fully discharged. You have not. Right, I might want to build up another 1 or 2 of these batteries to discharge this one into before I grind it out. Thrusters are a main part. The next main bit I need to figure out how to fit onto here is going to be the access way and the airlock. Alright, these are all funny shapes. I need to fix these shapes too. Let's go 2x1 bases. And I don't want to use battered. Oh, in fact, let's go blunk. I will be bringing some of that yellow back, but I wanted it all white to start off with. In fact, is this white or is this... Yeah, it's white. Let's have a look at this from the outside and see what the armor should look like. Right, so that's where we're going to have a strap going down, which means full block there. 2x1. I reckon I want this strap here, the bit that's going around, to be a yellow part to bring back that idea of the Panini. So if we grab yellow, that is not the yellow I used. I think I used my orangey yellow. Yeah, that's closer. So I'll just paint that to remind myself. So if I do that bit, then we have 2, then we have another with the door here. Let's use offset doors because I liked that little airlock on the top of the control tower. So if I got
Energy
offset door there
low.
and another one there, that'll be my airlock. And then I can have my light armor slope there and some ladders running down. Perfect. And then similar shape to what's on here. Go with my 2x1 base, my slab, and then my slope there. And that pattern will run around, and that gives us our entryway to the ship. Doing this in all such a funny order. Armory lockers, I reckon, should go... What? Reaver Thrasher, which... No, 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 it's coming for me here. It's coming for me here. Oh no. No, no, bad, 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 bad. Oh, this could be devastating. This could be devastating. Is that a large grid? Or is that small? Oh, that's large grid. Come on. I'm gonna get you to focus on the Panini. Not the Panini. Canary. Oh no, this could be the worst. The worst possible thing. I've only got 1 gun down this end. Come on. Come on, friend-o. Something here. Right here. There we go. Now we got some attention. Alright, come on. Come on, friendo. You can follow me. You can follow. Stay away from my base. I'm going to lead you to the other side. Not too fast. Keep up. Come on. Come on. Come on, little Thrasher. You know you want me. from base. Stay away from my base. And then we're going to come down nice and easy right in front of the fort's Capac. That's the way. They're going to deal with you. Oh! Oh, that's a lot of rockets! That's a lot of rockets! I'm so glad I was able to get this Canary up in the air quickly enough. And that this worked, because that was a lot of rockets that would have gone straight into my control tower. Okay, where are we? This way. Come on. Alright, I'm going to ease you down. Oh, it's in range again. Ease you down. Bring you around. Oh man. This is more nerve-wracking than actually fighting the thing. Because I know I'm just going to get pummeled if I get too close. Come on. Alright. We're almost there. I kind of want to lead you over a mountain. That feels like a better idea. My batteries that outlast yours. Oh, one turret down. Dang it, I blew it up. Another turret down. It's out of missiles. Rocket down. Whoa! Whoa, 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 what's it doing? What's it doing? Okay, it's gotten excited. What is it doing? Did I actually disarm it? Is that what it's doing? What's going on? Nope. I shouldn't do that in this. It is above me. Where is it going? Is it running away from me? Are you scared of a little canary, Mr. Reaver man? I'll chase it now. I should. Bring it down somewhat intact. That's loot. Oh no! You're not scared of me. You were coming around for a different attack. Man, I wish Steve had a view on this. I didn't have time to get him to track me. Okay, it's got no reverse thrust now. And I'm out of ammo. What you gonna do? Alright, let's, where are the... Oh. Let's go down to the fort's Capac, now that I've disarmed it, and see if they can bring it down. Because I'm out of ammo. And 15 minutes. Still got a bit of time though. Whoa, when did that happen? Oh no. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of gunfire, but I'm not seeing a lot. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Come on, you gotta come. Whoa! Oh, it almost hit me. Oh, it snapped in half! Wow. Oh, it almost hit me. Oh, it snapped in half! Oh, man. Oh, that was epic. There's probably not going to be a lot of goodies in that. Oh, this section, let's look. Yeah. I fear there is not much to be salvaged from here. So I see Lucas has started taking advantage of the heavy rust texture. Very nice. Fitting for the Reavers. Whew. Good job, Canary. Good job indeed. Let's rearm and reload. Yep, suit is now low on O2. It's a good time for me to disconnect, pop back in here, get the charge, and revel in my success. Jeez. Oh man, it is so lucky that we get the warnings for when Reavers detect something. If not for that warning, I don't think I'd have noticed that was a Reaver coming in. In fact, I'm certain I wouldn't have noticed. This is me we're talking about. Anyway, back to construction. In fact, no, not back to construction. I'm going to construct something new. Conveyor junction and turret. I know it doesn't get the best line of sight from here, but I don't really want to build that much taller. And again, most of the things are going to be attacking from overhead, so that's fine. And then I'm going to build another turret on this side. And I'll also go and build some turrets on the walkway across. Not the walkway, it's not a walkway. On the pathway across. That way, I'll at least have the turret on top of the control tower. 1, 2, 3, 4 more to shoot down anything that comes by. It probably won't be well, it's almost certain to not be enough to get away with taking no damage at all. But it might be enough to, well, it's going to hopefully make the difference between devastating damage and survivable damage. This feels like the quickest I've ever responded in terms of changing my buildings once I get attacked. There we go. 4 additional turrets. That's 5 turrets to shoot at anything that comes this way. That's something. I should really get out there and put a couple of Capacs off in that direction and repair the ones that are in the other direction, but I want to get this Panini done, so I'm not gonna. So, oh, I want to get rid of this, because what I'd like to do is, from the tank that's directly underneath me, have a conveyor line coming up from it that connects onto probably an O2 tank and a vent that's kind of that pokes upwards from here. So I have a way to pressurize this thing no matter where I am. So if I'm going to do that, I need to make sure that all of this stuff is connected properly. I'll build the batteries first and then I'll start sorting that out. Probably should work on the batteries first in any instance because I want them to be charged. Or maybe I don't need an O2 tank at all. This thing's only going to be planetary bound. As long as I've got a vent on each side. Maybe I could put an engine in where I was thinking of putting the tank. Yeah. Yeah, it's a much better idea. I'm going to have to think about how that's going to work, but I think that is a much better idea. Still going to get rid of the O2H2 gen because I really don't see much point in having that. When this is either going to charge from the wind turbines that are at this base or from the engines that are at the other base. It shouldn't really need to have an ability to produce hydrogen itself. And it is one of those blocks that it's quite easy to get rid of so that I can clear some extra mass from this thing. I should have thought about that before. There's going to be something in this corridor that I reckon might get on a few people's nerves. Oh well. I don't think I'm going to fix it because it's a small thing and, well, yeah. I'm sure you can figure it out even if I don't say it. Right, so I need to go grab some plate and things so that I can anchor down the back end and make sure all these thrusters are correctly anchored and then start getting rid of the stuff that's in there. Clear out for this conveyor line that goes down to the tanks. Let's start with, that's that thruster linked, so that's that one to that one, which links through to those two, which if I do this, links up to these rear 3, which link back to these ones. Okay, I should be able to clear out the stuff that's in the middle there without dropping any of the thrusters on the ground. I feel moderately confident about this. Oh! I don't know what just dropped off. But I'm about to run out of power too.
No energy.
Was the gyroscope under there? Did I just explode a gyroscope on the ground? Oh dear. I think I did. That was a big waste. Oh, they have heaps of grids in them too! Ah! Dang it!
Inventory full.
Yep. That is way too much scrap to be anything but a gyro. Get a perspective on this. Where is the back of the hydrogen tank? It's in line with the sideways thrusters. Okay. If I were to, say, pop an extra battery in there, and then put... Where's the engine? Engine. So I want to make sure that it's that way. Then put the engine in here. That's going to put a port that goes downwards. This face forwards. Then I could put a cargo container in there, which would give me nice cargo access. I should then be able to start decorating this space, yeah. Because that'll give me cargo access even from outside, since this interior wall's not going to be here. That could be quite useful. That there, then a vent on that block. No, vent can't be that block. This has to be closed off because it's the airlock. Nuts. Poop. Maybe I go cargo, cargo? Or do I change my mind and I decide that an O2H2 gen is useful? Maybe I do. Maybe I go O2H2 gen like that. Then my cargo container on this block. And then my vent in here. And then my decorative stuff around that. That should work. Now, hopefully, I have left access on the outside to get to all of those bits. Yes, awesome. Tell you what, for a project like this, having auto crafting set up is a godsend. It is saving me so much time. I haven't had to wait for a single component yet, or at least I haven't noticed having to wait for one. I've managed to have enough in storage that in the time it takes me to use up some, the assembler's already gone and replaced enough. Oh. In the past, I never really worried about that so much, but with our scrap, it's really changed it. Like, I think the reason I never really worried about it much was because normally I scrapped so many things. I'd be going in for the piracy and I'd be getting all the components from large ships that I'd taken down or even drones. But I don't have that this time. Every component I am using to build stuff is a component I have manufactured. It's a component I've had to get the power for so that the assembler can run, and it very much changes how useful for me with the way I play that the auto crafting part of Izzy's inventory manager is. Oh, and as I say that, I've run out of motors. Dang it. Why? Why, game? Why do you always have to prove me wrong? I mean, it did take me building 3 thrusters immediately, one bang after it. Smack. Why did I say bang smack? Smack bang after the other. But still. For the most part, I haven't had to wait for parts. These are going to take a few runs back and forth to weld. Nuts. I didn't rotate the hydrogen tank.
Energy critical.
It's off to one side. You can tell because of the bars. Oh, that's going to annoy me later. I've wasted so much on this build already with the number of thrusters I've ground down, the batteries I ground down and rebuilt. I really don't want to have to do that as well. No, I'm just going to leave the hydrogen tanks. If I ever... Well, I should publish this one, or at least add it to the Assertive Cargo Ships mod. Maybe I'll leave that in there. But I was thinking maybe I could fix that for that edition of this. Because, I mean, if this thing flies on on Omicron. There's no reason I shouldn't add this to the mod. Let's go a pair of spotlights up here. So we got our connector, and then also where's that camera down there, so that I've got an easier way to see where that connector is if I can't tell from third person, which I probably will be able to, but just in case. Then in between, I'm going to use a junction. The reason being, I'm also going to put this little like hanging strap thing that I was talking about. So that's those two coming down like that. Oh, wait a sec. Is that block wrong? Maybe that block should be different. Maybe that block should be different. No, those are the old way. I need to fix those two. And that one. No, wait. The front ones are different. Ugh. Splitsy, what are you doing? The sides of these things are all messed up. Okay, let's try this again. It should be one of these like this. Then... Actually, I think it will be a full block. Then a full block. And then I'll use the 2x1 slope to start that little hanging carrier thing. Yeah, because full block on this side. Yeah, that'll look better. Man, this is hard to think about from this perspective. Yes, that makes more sense now. Because I can do this. That, then that, then one of these. And I'm deliberately not doing the middle one until I weld this thing up. Ooh, if I can get up there, I could stick the gyroscope on top of that conveyor. Might be a nice place to hide it. I'm watching this from Steve's point of view. Because of the desync, I'm occasionally sinking right through the ground. There we are. Now the gyro won't be forgotten. Nuts. That is a downside of using this engine instead of what I had planned. I don't have a spot on top for the vent that I wanted to put in here. I was wanting to put a vent in amongst all these fans. I had this idea of using these with the retro future on them as vents along the end, as well as an actual vent, as well as all the fans for the thrusters. Where am I going to put that vent now? Ah, whatever, I'll just put it in here. It's an interesting spot for it to be anyway. See, if I was smart, what I would have done was build a conveyored up connector to hook this connector up to. Hooked that connector up. Then built these tanks. Built the conveyor tubes. Built this conveyor link up to upstairs. Built the cargo container. Then I wouldn't have had to run back over to the hangar every time because I would have had access to the cargo directly. Now, what are we going to do with this? I want to do something a bit more interesting than just doing this all flat with the half slope, the half slab thingies. So that can go there. That'll be where that one goes. All right. Maybe I will just do the vent things anyway. So that's this one. And we go retro future. I'm thinking there, 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 and there. It's just, I think it'll be enough to make a bit of a difference. Plus, it gives me a top surface that I can put the lights, like some lights down the middle on. So this thing isn't just flat the whole way down. And this can be a tip leading into that thruster there. Because the trouble with the half slope, the half light armor block roofs and floors and walls is your inability to put any lights on them. Whereas these, I can slap a light on top here, and that's going to give me some light, making the top of the ship visible in shots that it comes into at night, which I prefer. Because I've often got those third-person camera points of view. Man, that looks shiny at night. But I think that it's just... I reckon that's going to look like a bit of machinery on top. I'm so glad this little detail was pointed out to me. So it'll be cargo container here. Vent next to the door. And then I got to think about how I can use this limited space to get a bathroom and a bed. I could probably put a bed in the corner here, which I can then walk past to and get to a bathroom down here. I could put a set of lockers where this light is, or I could leave that light there. I could put a little table in here somewhere, I guess.
Energy critical.
I'm sure I'll come up with something that works, maybe. Or I'll regret earlier decisions, one of the two. Cool, cool, cool. And turn off my lights. Put in some lights here. Start taking down the scaffolding and see what I can do with the outside of it. Now, these I'm going to make more intense and reduce their range a bit. Same with this one. There we go. Now it kind of feels like the light's actually coming from them, and this background glow is just spill. Cool. That feels better. Having them all uniform with the ones that are outside that are providing light just felt a bit odd. So I think what I'm going to do is, using the neons, I'm going to bring them down and across, and then put some lights on the tanks. More neons down, lights on the tanks as we go along. So I think that could look, again, like the tanks are being actually hung underneath with cables. I know close up this is going to look, this does barely pass as cabling, but I still think it'll look alright at the distance. Just another little detail to break things up as well. How's that look? Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm going to need to figure out a way to get down to weld those. Let's do the other side as well. Right. I think that is actually all of the blocks I wanted to place on this welded up. So that means I just need to be able to paint the stuff in yellow that I want in yellow. One of the reasons I didn't even think about putting a landing gear on this is that they're really hard to fit in to designs on large grid ships because they're huge. So I kind of got lazy. And since I've got the connector on the front that's accessible and should be easy to use, I kind of went, it'll be fine. It does somewhat dictate some changes to my original plans of just landing on the ground here and not actually having to build any sort of landing platform or anything, but I still shouldn't need a platform. All I need is a connector that is on a static grid. Man, I hope I don't realize I've missed something after I take this down. I'm sure once I start flying I'll realize that there are some bits that I've missed on this thing, but hopefully the way I set things up down at the ice lake will give me an easy way to fix them. Oh! Oh man, I did not realize I was taking out my support then. Whoops. There we go. Scaffolding gone. Look at it. As the sun rises on it. Ah, the timing. It's perfect. Okay, if I climb up here, I have to be able to fly this thing, because I'm not going to be able to get back down. Let's hope. Oh, and let's also hope I don't fall backwards. Because the Panini has been resurrected and now works. I think. My plan. Look at that. 4 beautifully charged batteries, pressurized cockpit. My plan is to detach this merge block and fly myself over near where the liftsy is, where it's nice and flat, and just land there before I start prepping the rest of this stuff. So, what I need to do is get merge blocks. I need to name the merge block. To get the merge for the Panini on my hotbar with the toggle on and off. And I need to quickly press my dampeners on and then detach that. So, the moment of truth. 3, 2, 1, dampeners off. And we're free. I was afraid the dampeners were going to clang out like they do on the small grid on the connectors, because that's on a piston, but that was actually very sedate. And she flies. It's got about, what, when lifting maximum 38 minutes of flight time, that should be plenty to get down to the ice lake. It's fantastic. Look at this thing. Look at her. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think I know exactly what next time's going to bring. Next time is going to bring me building the connection point for this, loading it up with enough stuff for a few bits and pieces. Nope. That's rolling over. How am we going to... Maybe I'll land on top of the hangar for now. Sits perfectly flat. Because I might need to put something down to give it a little bit of a wider landing surface than just the edges of these tanks. Yeah, anyway, next time, build the connector, load this up with all of the bits to build a refinery and an advanced assembler, proper assembler, and then fly down to the ice lake and start building an ice mine. Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! Because that should take a... I don't know. Like, next week I'll have most of the ice mine at least functioning, and I probably will be able to get enough to get a decent load in this ready to go. So then I've just got to build my lifter to get up to the launch air. And make sure that when I go up to the launch air, I remember to bring a whole lot of ammunition. Because Reavers are nasty. As we saw today. Oh, I just realised I've missed some of the paint work. I'm going to have to fix that too. So, there's all those things that I was saying before, and plenty more to come. And it's going to be coming in 2021. And I will see you then.